Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy buys the dip, adds even more Bitcoin to MicroStrategy's balance sheet. Guys, China launches their first ever NFT marketplace. The Donald Trump NFT is absolutely tanking. And guys, you're not going to want to miss this. The former president of Russia gives his 2023 predictions. It's absolutely wild. I've got all of this and more, plus the top crypto news stories of the week. So you're definitely going to want to stay to the end of this episode. Anyway, guys, let's get straight into it. Check it out from MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy increases Bitcoin holdings by 2,500 and now holds over 132,000 Bitcoin. So guys, what do you think? Michael Saylor, who helped Elon Musk add Bitcoin to Tesla's balance sheet, one of the most bullish Bitcoin investors ever, is buying the dip. So while the retail sentiment is super bearish, guys, the big whales are accumulating. Is this the bottom? I do not know. I think what history has shown us, whenever Saylor and MicroStrategy have bought the Bitcoin dip, Bitcoin actually went lower after that happened. I don't know why. So we will continue to monitor this, guys. But again, this is just more proof, guys, that Bitcoin's got a fixed supply. Big whales are in steady accumulation mode. And Michael Saylor is risking a lot, guys. MicroStrategy is a publicly traded company. And in this move is really going to define them, guys. It's either going to go down as the most genius business move ever or the biggest blunder ever. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen. Next story, guys. China plans to launch a regulated NFT marketplace. But Kevin, China said they banned crypto. No, they banned it for you. They banned it for you. So they know that they can't fully ban these asset guys. So look at a key word, regulated NFT marketplace. So check this out, guys. Moreover, China is planning to launch a metaverse industry by 2025. It is estimated to be valued at around 28.7 billion. The value could be higher when the industry is launched in the country. According to reports, the metaverse industry will be constructed in the Zhejiang province of China. So again, guys, while the mainstream media and all the talking heads showed the story constantly that China was banning crypto, to get you to sell your assets, guys, they're telling you they're building an entire NFT marketplace. They're building a multi-billion-dollar metaverse project. These assets aren't going anywhere. They just want you to sell them so that you will not become financially rich. That is all that it is, guys. They want control. They want control over these assets. They know they can't ban them. They know they can't stop them, so they have to control them. They have to regulate them as much as they can. They have to, try to essentially buy them all so that you can't have them. Anyway, guys, next story. Donald Trump's NFT floor price drops 80% in 10 days. The floor price of the former president's NFT collection is around 0.16 Ethereum. Wow. What, guys, we covered this extensively. I hope that a lot of you bought this NFT, heeded my advice and sold this NFT when it peaked, because I knew that those floor prices was not sustainable. Is this the end of the Trump NFT? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know if Trump's got something up his sleeve. He's going to try to pump this thing again. Or did the orange man just pull the rug on you? I don't know. But again, guys, I covered this extensively in the last few episodes. I told you to stay away from this thing. I told you it had all the earmarks of a rug pull / scam NFT. Will it end up being that? I don't know. This isn't financial advice, but I would hope that if you bought a bunch of these, that you took profits. And that's not just a strategy with the Trump NFT. That's really a strategy for almost any NFT, guys. If you buy a bunch of NFT or crypto and it skyrockets, to something unsustainable, you get an 8 to 10x, take profits, guys, because there's always going to be a pullback. No matter what the asset is, whether it's crypto, NFT stocks, if something soars to an all-time high and goes to some unsustainable level, it's gonna pull back, guys. It's gonna pull back. So if you're bullish on the Trump NFT, hey guys, go ahead, buy the dip. Who knows? Maybe Trump announces, he's having a golf tournament and you have to have this NFT to attend. I doubt that for security reasons, but anything can happen, guys. It is the orange man. Next story, guys. This is so wild. So this guy, Dmitry Medvedev, he's the deputy chair of the Security Council of Russian Federation, and he was the former president of Russia from 2008 to 2012. Guys, he gives his New Year's predictions for 2023, guys. So I'm going to read it, and he says this is what could happen in 2023. It's just a hypothesis. It's pretty absurd, but I'm going to give y'all my thoughts. So the first prediction he says is that oil prices will rise to $150 a barrel, and gas prices will top $5 per cubic meter. The UK will rejoin the EU. The EU will collapse after the UK's return. The euro will drop out of the use as the former EU currency. Well, what's going to replace it? Very interesting. Poland and Hungary will occupy western regions of the formerly existing Ukraine. I guess he's saying that Ukraine is going to fall. The Fourth Reich will be created, encompassing the territory of Germany and its satellites, Poland, the Baltic states, Czechoslovakia, Slovakia, the Kiev Republic, and other outcasts. War will break out between France and the Fourth Reich. Europe will be divided. Poland repartitioned in the process. Northern Ireland will separate from the UK and join the Republic of Ireland. And guys, this is the wildest one. This is for the United States. Civil war will break out in the U.S., California, and Texas, becoming independent states as results. Texas and Mexico will form an allied state. Elon Musk will win the presidential election, and a number of states, which after the new civil wars end, will have been given to the GOP. Guys, the former president of Russia is saying that a civil war is coming to the United States, and through that civil war, will divide the country, making California and Texas become an independent states. And Elon Musk is going to be the GOP representative and president. I got nothing. I got nothing, guys. What do you want me to say? What do you like? Is a civil war possible? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Will Texas secede from the Union? There's been conspiracies of that. You talk to any citizen in Texas, they actually say they want that. They want to secede from the Union. Texas forming with Mexico? I have no idea. California becoming an independent state? I have no idea. Elon Musk becoming president? I could see that. I could see that. I mean, I think Trump becoming president really opened the door for non-traditional people to become president, and he's got the money, he's got the influence. I don't know, guys. For me, the jury's still out on Elon Musk. I know a lot of you love him, love what he's doing with Twitter. The Twitter files, he's exposing a lot of the corruption in this country. Me personally, I want to hope he's a good guy, because when the guy that wants to put brain chips in you, when the guy that's creating AI, when the guy that's creating self-driving cars, when the guy that owns the largest, one of the largest social media platforms, essentially owns free speech. When one guy has all that power, you better hope he's a good guy. Now, why do I think he could be a bad guy? Well, look into Elon Musk's former girlfriend or wife, whatever it was, Grimes. Look into some of her thoughts on AI and communism. Very strange. I mean, I would hope that, I would hope he maybe has different, maybe that's why he broke up with her. I don't know, guys. Elon, the jury's still out on Elon for me. Let me know in the comments, guys. Is Elon a good guy? And he did denounce the World Economic Forum, so that was good. But anyway, guys, next story. XRP lawyers says SEC Chair Gary Gensler will drive crypto prices lower with future lawsuits against an exchange. I've been saying for a year that this was the plan. Once the market's at the bottom and the incumbents get a bigger piece, Gary and the SEC will come to the table to work out some form of guidelines or clarity. So, yeah, I think what this XRP lawyer, John Deaton, is saying is that the SEC is essentially going to try to go after big exchanges, bottom out crypto. The big players are going to come in, buy up a majority of it. Then he's going to come out with some kind of common sense regulation to protect all his friends. Sounds plausible. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Gary Gensler's got to go. At the end of the day, Gary Gensler's got to go. Big story here, guys. Brazilians are turning to stable coins to protect savings from inflation. The Brazilian real continues to struggle to hold its value against inflation, prompting Brazilians to turn to stable coins. All right, so let me explain what's kind of going on. So as we raise interest rates in the United States and as we continue to crazily print money, which is creating the inflation you're seeing, the inflation is not caused by Putin. It's not caused by the Republicans. It's not caused by the C word. The inflation you're seeing is 100% caused by the Federal Reserve and the monetary policies of this country. By printing insane amount of money to do nonsense It is causing the inflation. The dollar is the world reserve currency. All other currencies settle in the dollar. So when we see a little bit of inflation, the third world starves to death. They see tons of hyperinflation, like countries like Venezuela, like countries like Argentina. Now Brazil is feeling the inflation. So Brazil has elected their populist president, Bolsonaro, who has embraced cryptocurrency. So what the Brazilians are doing, because they're feeling the inflation because of the dollar, because of the devaluing of the dollar, it's a devaluation of all currencies. The Brazilians are feeling the inflation. So what they're doing is they're turning to stable coins. This is a new phenomenon. This was not available. So countries that are experiencing inflation, when they see the Brazilians doing this, they're going to say, hold on, this is an opt-out. This is an opt-out of inflation. We can just use a different currency. We don't have to use our state-backed currency. Now, unfortunately, what history has shown us is anytime a country or a new world reserve currency has been established, or anytime a country is going through a currency debasement or a transition from one currency to another, it's usually prompted by war because powers that be are not going to give up power that easily, right? So we'll continue to monitor this, guys. It seems like Brazil is on the right path of a freedom of, they've come out and protested, the last election. So let's continue to monitor Brazil, guys, because, inflation, it's a tax on your wealth. And while we're not experiencing hyperinflation in America, don't think that can't happen, guys. You know why? Because the people in Venezuela, they didn't think it could happen to them. And what you're seeing, what happened to Venezuela, is very similar to what's happening in the United States. Guys, in Venezuela, they're literally eating zoo animals. Their money, it's just all over the street. They just throw their money on the street because the paper is worth more than the money. It's absolutely insanity what's happening with inflation. So that's why, that's the focus on this channel is, helping y'all get protected from inflation, because there is still lots of ways to protect yourself from inflation, because the rich people are going to be protected from inflation, guys. Let's get that straight. That the top 1%, whatever, the globalists, whatever you want to call them, guys, the inflation won't affect them. The inflation's only going to affect the poor people and their constituents that they're supposed to be protecting, but they're only protecting themselves and their corporate buddies. So anyway, guys, next story. Gold bug. Peter Schiff fires back at Cuban. So you guys remember I covered the Mark Cuban's comments. He said that you're dumb as F if you buy gold. So Peter Schiff responds to Mark Cuban following his previous pro-Bitcoin, anti-gold comments. So Mark Cuban, who is anti-gold, pro-Bitcoin. Peter Schiff is pro-gold, anti-Bitcoin. We covered that on previous episodes. So Mark Cuban said you're dumb as F if you buy it. Now, this is what Mark Cuban said. If everything went to hell in a handbasket and you had a gold bar, you know what would happen? Someone would beat the F out of you or kill you and take your gold bar. Cuban, I'm going to elaborate that on a little further. So say, some post-apocalyptic scenario and the dollar is worth nothing, Bitcoin, crypto is worth nothing, and we're in a Stone Age and you have a gold bar. The problem with that gold bar is, what are you going to do? You're going to smelt it? You're going to go to the store and shave off some gold bullion? And what are you going to do with gold? That's what people aren't realizing. So, yeah, while gold has intrinsic value, while Peter Schiff is right, it should be an investor's portfolio. Most gold investors don't even own the gold. They own a paper copy saying that your gold is somewhere locked up somewhere. So unless you really own some gold coins or some gold bars that are in a safe, Cuban is right. Now, this is what Shifty Schiff said, because he's not happy with old Mark. Shifty Schiff said this: after Bitcoin crashes, I hope Mark Cuban does buy more, as he told Bill Maher he would. It'll give others an opportunity to sell. His lack of understanding of Bitcoin is only exceeded by his lack of understanding of gold. He proves that you don't have to have money to make it. Wow. So what Shifty Schiff says, that if Bitcoin does crash, that Cuban better stand behind his word and buy that dip. So it'll give the retail exit liquidity to sell when Cuban buys. For you to sell, there has to be a buyer. Now, what I would say to Schiff on this is that I think if you understand what makes money, intrinsically what makes money valuable, Bitcoin has all the characteristics of sound money. If you actually want to know what makes money not valuable, you would look at the US dollar, not backed by anything, infinite supply. The people don't control how much money is printed. The people don't even control where the money goes to. We just gave Ukraine $1 trillion freaking dollars. For what? For what? So intrinsically, Bitcoin has all the asset, everything intrinsically you'd want in money is encompassing in Bitcoin. So if you want to say, well, hey, this technology is not adopted, it's early, you can say a lot of negative things about Bitcoin, but you can't say from the programming of it, intrinsically, it is sound money. It is perfect money. And if there was ever any a currency that you could look at and say, is this perfect money? It would be Bitcoin. There would be, show me any other asset that's closer because of the fixed supply, because of the issuance rate, because of the decentralization of it. I mean, I could go on and on, guys. So let me know, what do you guys think? I'd love to see Peter Schiff and Mark Cuban debate. I think that'd be really interesting. Anyway, next story, guys. Regulator from the Washington Examiner. A regulator that wined and dined by SBF and FTX out as the SEC. So as this SEC case continues to develop, we're seeing more and more disturbing ties between our SEC, another three-letter agency that's supposed to protect the American citizen, the retail investor, but has failed to do so, I'd say, because clearly by what happened with FTX. And what we're seeing is some very, very unusual ties between FTX and the SEC. Now a regulator that worked for the SEC is now resigning because of the his relationship with SBF. Gary Gensler, hopefully next. This from the Market Insider. The Sam Bankman-Fried backed crypto Solana has lost nearly all its value this year and is still crashing as key projects bail. So, as you guys know, I was super bullish on Solana. And strictly, guys, I was following institutional money. It's looking like I was wrong, guys. Hey, I can be wrong. That's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Luckily, I did take some profits with Solana, but overall, super in the red on it. I should have saw this fraud for what he was. I should have saw all this altruistic, all this virtue signaling, all this effective altruism. I should have seen all that as red flags. I should have seen the, him donating these large sums to Joe Biden. And again, guys, I just looked at that when he was donating all this money. I knew about him donating money to Joe Biden. I just thought that, it didn't matter if Trump was president, if Obama, Joe Biden, it didn't matter who was president. I just looked at it like when you're that big, you're just playing ball. You're donating to whoever's in power to just kind of get by. I didn't know it was this corrupt, guys. I had no way of knowing. A lot of institutions had no way. People are pissed. People lost millions of dollars because of this fraud. But I think what the silver lining to all of this is that it's been exposed and the dominoes are continuing to fall. And while it's bad for crypto, obviously for the short to medium, potentially long term, it's good that this dude's behind bars. Let's look at that. It's good he got caught now and not before their Ponzi got even stronger and was impossible to defeat. So we sacrificed a lot in this industry, but the silver lining is we're at a clean slate. Now, are there still some more bad actors to get out? Absolutely. But I think now people's radars are a lot bigger to the frauds, and people are ready to call out frauds like him. So we will continue to monitor this, guys. So was I wrong about Solana? It's looking like so, guys. It's looking like so. I'm hearing reports that like 90% of developers have left the project. That I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. I'm not telling you to buy Solana. I'm not telling you to sell it. What am I going to do? I may buy, just as a hedge. I might buy, because it's so low right now, guys, and perhaps in a bull run, maybe it goes up and then I'll sell and take profits. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, guys. It sucks because I got some Solana NFTs looking like they're going to go to shit. Bloomberg, Goldman CEO Solomon says job cuts are coming next month. He sees slower economy, tightened monetary conditions, as many as 4,000 jobs will be on the line. People familiar said. So, guys, we're now seeing the big banks have layoffs. We've seen big tech, guys, you've seen it across big tech, massive layoffs. And I want to ask you something, guys. I'm not trying to fear porn. I'm not trying to fearmonger. Just want to ask you a serious question. If the big banks are laying people off and big tech are having massive layoffs, is that a sign of a good economy? Or is that a sign of a recession? if we were in a booming economy, there would be no need for massive layoffs from these companies. There'd be no need. They'd be hiring. They'd be hiring because we were in a booming economy. Now, I'm not saying that to be negative or to scare you. My grandfather lived through the Great Depression. You know, if we go to a depression, guys, we'll make it out of it because we're American. That's what we do. We find a way. We find a way. And I think that if we do go through some type of prolonged recession or even depression, we're going to come out of it stronger, guys. And those of you, if you made it this far in the video, dude, you're smart. Seriously. Like, I really do mean that, guys, because you follow this stuff. You know who the good guys are. You know who the bad guys are. And you're protecting, you're insulating yourself. Because let me remind you of something, guys. You know where traditionally the most amount of millionaires in real wealth was made? Real wealth was made in recessions and depressions. So just because we're going through a recession, depression, doesn't mean you can't get rich. Doesn't mean you can't find financial freedom. Doesn't mean you can't buy that first house you've been wanting. Doesn't mean you can't buy your first Bitcoin. Doesn't mean you can't buy that land in the country that I want to buy. Guys, 2023, I don't know, you know, New Year's resolutions and stuff, guys, just be great every day. But 2023, guys, you know, whatever we're going through, whoever the president coming up in 2024, guys, I'm going to be making the biggest moves in my life. I plan on buying land in the country, guys, and I'll cover it all on this channel. I'm going to buy a house in Florida. I want a vacation house in Florida, guys. So let the real estate market dip, guys. I'm buying. I'm constantly acquiring fiat. I've changed my lifestyle a lot to save money, but also to learn a lot about money, guys, because that's what life's about, guys. Life's about constantly learning. You know, nobody knows everything. And, you know, when you think about in your life, guys, whenever you thought you were, I'm so smart, I know everything, life humbled you, didn't it? Right? So that's why I'm always going to just kind of constantly be in a state of learning. I'm going to be, guys, I'm trying 2023 to bring some really awesome people on this channel, to give y'all some awesome interviews so that we can learn from some of my guests, because, you know, my guests for 2023 I have lined up are going to be top notch. So make sure you're subscribed. Anyway, guys, next story, from Yahoo. We're in the second biggest home price correction of the post-World War II era. Here's the latest data. So, guys, check this out. Speaking of report in September, the Fed Chair Jerome Powell made it clear that going forward, the U.S. house market would get reset by a difficult correction. Guys, I told you this before Jerome Powell said this. Now, interesting to use the term reset. Great reset, perhaps? I don't know. But let's read the rest of the article, guys, because it's pretty weird stuff. Houses were going up at an unsustainable fast level. So the deceleration in house prices that we're seeing should help to bring prices more closely in line with rents and other housing market fundamentals. That is a good thing. For the longer term, what we need is supply and demand to get better aligned so that housing prices go up at a reasonable level and at reasonable pace so that people can afford houses again. We probably in the housing market have to go through a correction to get back to that place, Powell said. This difficult housing correction should put the housing market back into better balance. So what Jerome Powell's leaving out is the reason why we had this unsustainable rise in housing prices is because of the Fed printing a crazy amount of money. Coupled that with the lowest, one of the historically lowest interest rates ever. Now the Fed has reversed course, pivoted, raised interest rates recklessly. Even Elon Musk has said, like, stop raising interest rates. You're causing a recession. Even other countries are like, stop raising interest rates. You're destroying our economy. So we raised interest rates, which is destroying the housing market, which has a ripple effect to the rest of the economy. As money gets tighter to come by, people are selling off assets. But you know what's happening to rent prices? Rent prices are going up. You know why? Because we're becoming a nation of renters. And if you're wondering why, this is by design. This is not a coincidence. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid, guys. As much as I attack these people, as much as I use my platform to speak out against the powers that be, they're not stupid. They're evil geniuses, guys. So what the plan is, and guys, it's all documented. Look up Agenda 2030. Look up the Great Reset. You will have nothing and you will be happy. They want us to be a nation of renters. They want us to own nothing. They want us to be renters. So how is that going to happen? Well, when they bottom out the housing market, the big banks, the BlackRocks, they're going to come in and they're going to buy as many they're already doing it right now. They're going to buy as many single family houses and you're going to rent from them. And that way, now they're going to you think there's rent control now? Oh, they're really going to raise the rents once you have no other option, once they own all the houses. And single family houses for the average American is going to become, it's the American dream's going away. Unfortunately, because of these monsters, people like Jerome Powell, people like Janet Yellen, people like Joe Biden. It's because of them. So don't get caught up in the Republican versus Democrat thing, because they're on the same team, guys. the whatever you want to call them, the 1%, the globalists, the financial banking cartel, whatever little code name you want, the Bill Gateses, they are at the top of this food chain, and they are going to do whatever they have to do to protect their wealth and their power. They're not going to give it up. So one of the key things that make, that is a key part of the American dream is the home ownership. Affordable home ownership, that you can own your own property, and that piece of property can be passed down in your family, and your grandkids can have a paid off house. But through inflation and through the devaluing of currency, they're making that American dream harder to achieve. So there are still a lot of hacks to a lot of loopholes, a lot of glitches in the matrix, if you will, to be able to own your own house, to be able to have financial freedom. And that's what this channel is about, guys. Protecting you from inflation through digital assets and through escaping the matrix, I guess I'll say. As Andrew Tate says, defeating the agents in the matrix. Cointelegraph, guys. BMW taps CoinWeb and BNB chain for a blockchain loyalty program. BMW will integrate decentralized tech in 2 phases. First, its daily operations to eliminate complex paperwork. And the second phase would see the development of a customer loyalty program. Oh, absolutely, guys. So we've seen Starbucks do it. Now we're seeing BMW do it. All these big corporations are working on their blockchain strategies right now. Guys, I've told them they could just call me. They could just call me. A small consultation fee. I'll help them. No, but seriously, guys. So, BMW, and I like that they mentioned complex paperwork, because that's one thing the blockchain can really solve is, paperwork and stuff like that, and human error. The blockchain is going to help that. Also, too, guys, when you think of the way the VIN number system works on vehicles, the way, think of Carfax, but Carfax on steroids. That's what the blockchain is going to be able to do for the car industry. BMW is already looking into it. So, guys, where do you see this going? Where do you see this going? Every company is going to have an NFT. Every company is going to have a loyalty program. Every company is going to do all their accounting on the blockchain. All their data and record keeping is going to be on a blockchain. Why? Because it's the best way. It's the best way to cheaply store mass amounts of information. That's why. Centralized servers are expensive. Centralized servers are not cheap to run. Blockchain, cloud, whatever you want to call it, that is going to be the systems of the future. That's where we're moving to. Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum make it very clear. The 4th Industrial Revolution's happening. And I hate when I say this stuff. He's like, it's a conspiracy theory. I'm like, dude, you can literally go look it up for yourself. You could go on the World Economic Forum's website and read everything that I'm telling you, because if you don't believe it from me. But I think if you made it this far in the video, that you know what's going on, you know that none of this is a conspiracy. Speaking, like, guys, our overlords at the World Economic Forum, they removed Twitter from its how to follow page. Wonder why? World Economic Forum cancels Twitter, directs followers to Chinese social media apps. What can I say, guys? What can I say? Our overlords at the World Economic Forum do not like Twitter for some reason. You know why? Go on Twitter and I'm not going to tell you what to search. Take the 5 most controversial topics you can think of and search them on Twitter and go read the comments. That will tell you everything you need to know. They do not like this platform because they cannot censor it and control it. What Elon Musk and the Twitter files have shown us is that our federal government and a lot of 3-letter agencies were using these platforms to censor. They were using taxpayers' dollars to censor me and you. Are you disturbed? You should be. You should be telling your all your guys. I talk to my state representatives. I talk to my council people. I talk to people, everybody I know, and I try to tell them what's going on. But like Morpheus said, guys, some people aren't ready for the red pill. Some people don't want to know. Some people don't want to know this stuff. Some people don't care. They just want to live their lives. And frankly, I don't blame them, because we elected political representatives to handle this kind of stuff for us. We have a constitution that's supposed to give us freedom, that's supposed to guarantee us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Anyway, guys, made this far in the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Classic Kev, y'all. I'm out. Peace.